Hi guys, welcome back. Today I thought I would talk to you about a new foundation that I recently got and I'm really excited about. This is going to be very similar to my other foundation videos where I apply the foundation and then go about my day and then pop back quite some hours later to say how it's fared and what I feel about it, and just to give you guys my overall thoughts on the foundation, how it's lasted and the coverage that it's given, that kind of thing. And this review today is going to be on the By Terry Cover Expert SPF 15 Perfecting Fluid Foundation, which looks like this. I've talked about this perhaps in my haul video, and I mentioned how excited I was to try it, and I thought I would let you guys know what it's like because it's a very expensive foundation. It's £45, which is insane, but the only way I can kind of justify this is that it contains a lot of skincare elements in there as well, so it's actually helping your skin alongside giving you the coverage and finish that you would like. So because it's kind of a skincare product as well, I kind of think that may justify slightly the price increase that I would normally pay for a foundation. However, I do appreciate they're very expensive. Packaging is very nice, kind of comes in this midnight bluey purple box, which I do like, and this is meant to give you a flawless, very radiant finish but with a velvety texture, which sounds quite dreamy and quite heavenly. I have got it on today so you guys can see what it looks like, and obviously I'm going to show you my skin before and after as I always do. But this contains SPF 15, so your SPF is covered, which is fantastic. However, you would want that considering the fact that you paid £45 for it. For anyone who's interested, I have this in the shade 8 Intense Beige, and I think that it matches me pretty perfectly, to be honest with you. It's a really good shade match for me. This is what it looks like. It comes in this kind of squeezy bottle, and it is a 35ml, so it's slightly larger than the bog standard foundation size. And it says on the back, the stretch velvet texture, full correcting pigments and exclusive light diffusing complex ensure expert perfecting camouflage for an ultra flawless matte coverage. Now this is definitely a mattifying finish, which is the reason that I've opted to use quite a glowy primer underneath, just because I like my skin to look quite youthful, I like my skin to look quite radiant and refreshed, so that's the reason that I popped on an illuminating primer underneath. But yeah, I really do like this foundation a lot, and I'm going to pop the foundation on so you guys can see what it looks like, and then I'm going to go about my day as I normally do, and I'll pop back and tell you guys how I feel about it. But yeah, packaging is beautiful, and the finish, and obviously you can see it right now, it looks very pretty indeed, but I think the ultimate test is going to be how it fares throughout the day. Okay, so because I like quite a radiant finish, as you guys know, I'm going to apply a primer, or have applied a primer on my skin. So this has just made it look a little less tired, and sorry, it's gone really bright, but yeah, this just makes it look a little less tired and makes my bags look not quite as apparent and a little less angry. And I've used the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Soft Focus Beauty Flash just to give my skin a little bit of radiance, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply it with the normal brush that I use to apply my foundation, which is the Louise Young L34 brush. I absolutely love this brush, it's great for buffing in, and this is what the foundation looks like. So I'm just about to go and use this for the first time. I've not used it before, and I'm hoping that my skin will look a lot better afterwards. This is meant to give you an ultra correcting flawless velvet radiance, so let's have a look. And so I'm going to put a bit on the back of my hand and see how I do with it. I'm really hoping I like this because it was super expensive, and yeah, I'm hoping I'm going to see good results from this. So I'm just going to wipe it on the side of my face, and then I'm just going to do as I always do and blend it out in hopes that it makes my skin look a lot better. The consistency is quite thick compared to the foundations that I've been using recently. This is a lot thicker than the Chanel, it's a lot thicker in its texture to the Becca as well. Which is okay, I don't mind a little bit of a thicker finish, but at the moment I have been using slightly thinner finishes, so I would say this probably amounts to a pump and a half that I've used. I just want to make sure that, because I have a bit of redness going on, that most areas are covered before I start buffing in hopes that, because I'm not wearing a concealer, that I get pretty decent coverage from this, because it'd be quite devastating if I don't. So I'm just going to begin to buff that in. And it does smell really pleasant. You can really smell the skincare that's contained into this foundation, which is nice. And it does blend in really nicely, which is nice as well. It feels really pleasant on the skin. I can definitely see in the viewfinder the radiance that this is giving, which is very nice. It almost looks like a demi-matte finish, even though the texture is very velvet. It is giving off a nice amount of radiance, which is nice to see. Just going to blend that into my hairline to make sure it looks nice and even. nice, that's what it looks like. I'm looking at this in the viewfinder, so it's quite difficult for me to see the coverage and that kind of thing, so I'm going to go and check it out in a mirror, but from what I can see, it looks very, very radiant and very, very natural. It's matched me really, really well. The texture, even though it's a bit thicker than the other foundation that I've been using, it feels nice. It feels very, very velvety soft, and yeah, I love the finish. I feel like it's covered up my redness and my blemishes incredibly well. Like, I did have some blemishes going on here, which I think it's targeted really well considering the fact that I'm not wearing a concealer. And actually, I was wearing a highlighted base, which might have made them look slightly redder because it's kind of highlighted them. But actually, this has dealt with the coverage really, really well. So I'm going to go and apply the rest of my makeup and I will pop back. And then obviously, as I do with these videos, I'm going to go about my day and then I'll come back and see how it's fared and how it's lasted. But yeah, really nice, really radiant. Definitely not an everyday wear foundation just because of the price of it, but it definitely looks extra special. Very, very nice indeed. So I've applied the rest of my makeup and it does look beautiful. It's a very, very nice soft finish. It's very velvety, very luxurious. You can definitely feel the skincare elements of this. Everything just goes on a lot softer and my skin just feels nourished, and even though the coverage isn't as much as I would like, for example the blemishes here that have no concealer on, you can still see them. They're not completely gone away, but that is nothing that a decent concealer would not sort out. So it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for a beautiful kind of porcelain finish and you have quite nice skin already, then the By Terry is absolutely beautiful. However, I think if you're paying £50 for a foundation, you need to be happy with the kind of coverage that it gives you and the fact that it's going to cover blemishes. And actually, even though it's a beautiful finish and it is one that I will use on better skin days or with a bit of concealer, it isn't as flawless as some of the other foundations that I've used, and I wouldn't say it's full coverage, I would say it's light to medium. But you definitely could build it up, which is quite nice, and also you could just apply a concealer. Like, I just wanted to apply the base so you guys could see it in its entirety without any kind of interference, I guess. I mean, obviously I've got my bronzer on and my blush, but apart from that, all the base that you see, there's not even any highlighter on apart from underneath the foundation with the primer, and I kind of just wanted you guys to see what it was like. In terms of what I paid for it, it is beautiful and it is worth the money, absolutely gorgeous for special occasions. However, if you have blemishes or a lot of redness, I wouldn't have said I could wear it without a concealer, just because little areas here, like as you can see, have started to come through ever so slightly. And I'm being picky, but I think when you're paying £45 for the foundation, that is when you can afford to be picky. So finish, love; texture, love; application, beautiful; and the finish is gorgeous. That's definitely non-disputable. The only down element to this is the amount of coverage that you get, and I did use 1 to 2 pumps on the whole of my face, which is a lot more than I would normally use, and I still didn't feel like it gave me the coverage. However, it is beautiful and I can't dispute that. It feels lovely as well, very, very pleasant. But I think that the coverage has let it down ever so slightly. But then again, you could just wear a concealer so you wouldn't be disappointed, but I just wanted you guys to see it as it is in its entirety. But you guys would normally probably just wear a concealer on top, so it's not a big deal. However, I do feel like if I'm wearing foundation, I want it to kind of sing to me as well. I want it to be amazing. I want it to be the cat's pyjamas, whatever the saying is. And unfortunately, the coverage let it down a little bit, but I do love it and I think it's beautiful. But I don't think I'd buy it again, just because my skin does need that little bit of extra coverage. But I'm going to go about my day and see how it fares. But because the blemishes are already not covered, I kind of do expect them to show up later on in the day. Hi guys, I'm back now. So I went to Five Guys today, I had a burger, you may have seen it on my Instagram. I've had a lot of fun today, very, very busy. And actually, it's looking pretty much the same. I thought the blemishes would come through that are here a little bit more, and they have come through ever so slightly. Like, I'm seriously being picky, you guys may not even notice, but it doesn't look as flawless. Like, there are definitely areas that look a little bit sparse, but overall, beautiful. Can't really complain about it because I knew that my blemishes were completely covered, and I wouldn't say they've become any more prominent than they were before. The foundation has held up beautifully, and as I said, I've been out for the full day. I applied it at about 10 o'clock on Sunday morning and it is now 4:30, so I can't complain about it too much. It's lasted really, really well. Feels beautiful, feels nice. I would be happy to go out like this again. I wouldn't feel the need to top up. So yeah, really, really nice. Definitely I'm happy with it, but I feel like if you do need a lot of coverage, you may want to opt for a concealer. But in terms of how it's lasted, I'm happy with that. I don't think I can complain. Then again, I paid £45 for it, so I should damn well be happy with it, because I feel like when you're paying that price, you can't expect the world. And yeah, love it. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts, but I thought it'd be fun just to show you guys what it looked like at the end of a given day. And looking at it, I do feel like it will probably last till about 7 o'clock, which is normally when I have my bath and take my makeup off. So I am really happy with it. It looks very pretty indeed, and it did last really well. Came off beautifully. My skin felt really nice after it. It did feel like there was definitely some skincare elements going on, and yeah, really like it. However, it's not one that I'm going to bust out every day just because I simply can't afford to wear a £45 foundation on a day-to-day basis. It's just not practical for me. But special occasions, or if I'm going out on a night out, beautiful finish, but I will need a bit of concealer on top. I hope everyone found this helpful and interesting to watch. Please comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Thanks very much for watching. Give it a little like if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all soon. Bye! Like, it's kind of this burnt orange top with this really nice neck lacy type of tie detailing. Very nice. I have nothing like it. I really feel like it suits my complexion. I don't tend to wear colours like this often. I'm pretty monochrome when it comes to my colouring, but